Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are the Middle-Aged Guys, and in this particular video, if you can't tell by the placeholder image that's right next to us on the video right now, we're actually going to talk about the initial teaser trailer that was released out for Batman Ninja. That was released out beginning of this particular this month, December 2017. I'm the Reverend.
The theme here.
And I'm Grey Mouse One.
All of us, if you watch any of our videos before, we're all comic book geeks. We're all a big fan of the Bat. We are also, a lot of us are big anime and video game manga fans. Yes, we do fall into that whole stereotypical geek wheelhouse. All right, and
Nerds.
yeah, all right. It's just some of us way more than others. Some of us decide to go ahead and actually make that one of their professions for that fashion. So, in any case, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take a quick look at this particular trailer. We're gonna give our quick thoughts on it. The theme himself hasn't had the chance to look at it, but so we can go ahead and get fresh reactions out of him. And if you want to go ahead and follow along, we're gonna be going ahead and queuing up this trailer to play in about 3, 2, 1, and play. Nothing good happens with the Joker and chemicals.
No. In the Middle Ages, damn. Huh.
Damn.
Hey, you have all the Robins in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
日の本朝のごとく乱れる時コウモリの仮面をつけし異形の忍び現れ
And
乱を
restore order.
あなたをお待ちしておりましたバットマン殿
There's that soul.
さあどうする
Okay. Batman will go beyond your imagination, huh?
Yeah, that one's that's different.
You know what? I can appreciate it going to a different type of thing instead of the same things over and over again. Well, with the occasional Adam West thing or Brave and the Bold or something like that. But for it to go full-fledged Japan, I mean, most people already think it's Batman as a ninja anyway. So
yeah.
I have one problem with this.
Okay.
The name. That's more of a samurai than a ninja. I'm just saying.
But
Yeah.
he's the warrior of the night.
No, I'm not arguing that, but I'm arguing why is he wearing samurai armor and calling himself a ninja?
But again,
Batman ninja.
you see, I remember when in Batman the Animated Series, a similar conversation was had between Batman and Kyodai-ken.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, once again, you appear unseen, Dark One. You would have made a great ninja. And Batman is like, I would prefer to be a samurai. And then Kyodai was like, but you're like me, a warrior of the night.
So,
I mean,
what do you guys think about the animation and the way the Joker looks? I think
okay.
it's extremely
There's been different looks of the Joker before.
yeah.
There's been the Batman, and then there's Heath Ledger. You know, so
No, I'm not saying that the Joker went dark. I mean, that's a really dark Joker. Yeah.
As long as he holds the character of the Joker. But damn, this is going to have a Japanese twist to the characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't hold any judgment on that until I actually watch the movie and make sure everything is coherent at that point.
Visually speaking, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
It does have its own style to it. Although I will say that a lot of the more modern 3D style animation that's used for a lot of anime nowadays, a lot of times it's really hit and miss. Sometimes the style works for the title that they're working with. Sometimes it does not. With this particular one, it doesn't look like it stands out as being too intrusive or obtrusive at any time or anything like that. So it's interesting to see like all the little spins that they have on. They had all the each and every one of the different members of the Bat family. They had all of the Robins and the Red Hood there. They had Alfred.
Yep.
They had Catwoman. They had Harley Quinn.
Yep.
I don't know if that's Grodd or another gorilla character that they had. But yeah, it's and then they went ahead and they threw in the whole steampunk influence, giant mecha wooden robot at the end. So obviously a lot of anime, where there's a lot of visual flair and everything else. And for that, that fires on all cylinders for me. I mean, to be completely honest,
Jokezilla.
Yeah.
What's interesting is to see some of Batman's notorious villains in Japanese style, like the Joker, for instance, Harley Quinn, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Clayface. We saw all those.
But see, not only villains, but allies.
Yes, we saw all the Robins. I mean, across the freaking whole family of Robins.
Yeah. They had to give Damien the really fucked up haircut too.
Yeah, you saw that? Yeah. Like half
as much as this particular trailer makes me curious about it, I can't shake the feeling that I am probably gonna fucking hate this thing once I actually watch it. Because people complain about
worse than Batman and Harley Quinn.
Probably, actually. Because the thing is that people complain a lot about how, like, many times, Americans will take Japanese IPs and they go ahead and adapt them over for an American audience and stuff like that. Okay, and a lot of times things get changed. Sometimes, the adaptation is done suitably well. Other times it's horrible. Sometimes the changes make sense. Other times it's just screams of like some sort of executive decision at like on a production level or whatnot.
Well, it's hit or miss. Most of the time, it's hit or miss on that.
It's hit or miss. All right, and people will sit there and be very adamant that whenever a Japanese IP is westernized, that it's ruined automatically. Okay, but I will say, after watching enough of them, that a lot of the adaptations that go the other way, where they're Western IPs that are Easternized for the Japanese audience, also end up being fucking horrible. All right.
So I guess this is payback. They're like, okay, you fuck up Godzilla, so now we fuck up your bat.
No, they didn't mind Godzilla, because the thing is that if they would have minded Godzilla, they would have
1998.
They would have taken it back. All right. But okay, one IP that sounds like it should have fit really, really well in the Japanese anime mold and everything else, especially since it was pretty much a take on the magical Esper children and Super Sentai teams and other things like that, was the Powerpuff Girls. All right. If you've ever watched Powerpuff Girls Z, okay, the anime series, it is god awful. It is fucking awful. All right. I mean, okay, look, the changes of appearances for all of the individual Powerpuff Girls and everything else, fine. I understand style changes and everything else, but the fact that they turned Mojo into a bumbling idiot who walked around ending all of his sentences saying Mojo, talking like a fucking Pokemon character, that completely, that was it. I was done. All right.
So you're afraid
I'm not even going to cover what they did to him. Okay, that was horrible.
So your biggest fears are that the characters are not going to be within the realm of them being their characters at all.
Yeah, and the thing is that the creative team that they have behind this, the producer and everybody else, these guys are well known for doing really high fidelity visual projects and stuff like that. Like, let's see here, we have Kazuki Nakashima, who's one of the main writers. He went ahead. He wrote Terraformers, Kamen Rider, Forza, and a whole bunch of other, not only anime but also Super Sentai shows. All right, I mean, and we're talking about stuff that goes all the way back to like the 80s and stuff like that. Let's see here. Junpei Misuzaki, which is like one of the main animators, a character designer, and everything else. He has been employed doing multiple things, across video games, and also, he's worked on as one of the visual designers for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is absolutely has its own style and flair. All right, and we're talking about the 2012 version of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is like a lot of eye candy and stuff like that. And the main director and writer is Takahashi Okazaki, who, if you know about him, you will know that he is basically the main writer for Afro Samurai. He also did Afro Samurai Resurrection and a whole bunch of other animated projects like Basilisk and other things.
Yep.
A lot of real great visual flair and a lot of hyperkinetic action and stuff like that. But a lot of those also kind of ended up, devolving into, a lot of flash and a lot of fucking nonsense. Okay? Because if you came to the end of Afro Samurai trying to figure out, okay, so what was the whole point? Is there actually going to be someplace that they're going from this point here, now that he becomes number one? I don't know if that's a spoiler by now, because fucking Afro Samurai is from like 2009 and shit. All right. Actually 2007. It's like 10 years old. Then you get to the end and then it just kind of ends. And it's like, well, okay. Yeah, he knew how to do like animated afros and ass really well, but when it came to actually making sure that the story made sense, that's as much as I liked Afro Samurai, I can't sit there and sell it on to anybody on the strength of its story. Just being honest.
Well, the good thing is I did see that WB show, so maybe that will ground them to a point. I mean, it's obvious that they're involved. Otherwise, I mean, I know it's their characters and everything, but
yeah.
Maybe.
It's not just. I see what you're getting at, Gray Mouse. It's not just Batman going to Japan.
No, I got you. I understand.
It's not like Teen Titans in Tokyo. No, this is a whole new different time.
No, he's actually going to feudal Japan. Somehow he gets sucked into a time thing. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and it's
all his enemies and friends and allies.
The thing is what I find interesting is that can the story remain cohesive within the Batman universe, as in the characters that we know? Will they be the characters that we know, or are they going to, like you just mentioned, that turn Mojo Jojo into a bumbling idiot?
As long as Two-Face is not twirling a cane and Riddler is not flipping a coin, okay.
they even said that Deathstroke is there, so that's going to be very interesting. I don't know. I mean, it seems like something.
That means that as far as having all these characters there, the screen time on most of them is going to be very minimum.
Well, I don't know how long the movie's going to be. I mean,
you know what? As an animated project, I would be very surprised if this thing goes longer than 100 minutes.
I was
Right.
going to say 89 minutes. I was going to say around. That's the happy.
You know,
So and the story has to center around Batman and jokes. Basically, everybody else is just going to be there to a quote unquote certain point.
Yeah.
I mean, I like I said, I'm pretty sure.
Probably without any dialogue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be, you know, a fun ride with a lot of visual flair. But I'm, you know, given the amount of ingredients that we're throwing into this thing, and they're probably going to go ahead and wrap everything up, try to wrap everything up within 90 minutes or less. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very fast, furious, pretty clusterfuck. You know, when everything is done.
I mean,
all right.
Batman. Come on. Batman has a fucking sword, a katana blade. So,
well, is it he's trained in that before anyway? So I mean, that makes sense.
But like I said, I'm not against any of that.
No, I mean, and it's not fair for us. I guess it's not fair for us.
Most of this shit looks like it takes place during the fucking day.
There's some, but I mean. It seems to me like it's not fair for us to already call it off as it's going to be an incoherent,
yes, it is.
Pieces of shit.
No, yes, it is. I mean, we're going by what
we saw was a 2-minute trailer.
Yeah, but we're just piecing together of what we expect and what.
No, I understand.
But I get what you're saying. Not to totally write it off. That's what you're saying.
Don't completely write it off as like. You know, like I'm not going to see it because.
No, I'm going to go see it. I'm going to go see it. But like I said, I'm expecting to hate this. I really am. Okay, and I'm not going to mince any words on that. I'm expecting to hate this.
See, I'm going to go in as like no expectations and kind of open minded.
Yeah.
As much as humanly possible. But as far as liking it or hating it. You know, it remains to be seen. I mean,
that's where I'm at right now. It's too early to have a like-hate relationship with this movie.
Well, everyone thought that they were going to like Batman and Harley Quinn, and people actually ended up hating it.
Yeah, very valid point. Very valid.
And a lot of people thought that the Flashpoint Paradox was going to be like meh, and then you watch it, it's like whoa.
I mean, I don't know. It's just that. So you don't have confidence in the director as having a cohesive story because of his future or his past projects rather, like Afro Samurai and and
you know, and he's also the writer, you know, the main writer on all of this stuff, you know. And the thing is, like I said, I expect it to look great. In fact, you know, everything that they've shown does look great. It looks very Michael Bay-ish. In fact, everything's fucking blowing up all over the place. All right. You know, and there's a lot of slow-mo close-up shots of people's eyeballs passing by the front of the fucking camera and shit like that while they flip in the air, you know. So when it comes to the visual part of it, I'm already convinced they have that in spades. All right. But if you're going to sit there and you're going to tell me, all right, hey, or if you're going to sit there and ask me to go ahead and tell you, hey, look, I'm going to give you 24 fucking characters, all right? We're going to completely remove them from their normal, everyday fucking scenario, all right? We're going to put them in an alternate reality, feudal Japan,
right?
Where even though it's feudal Japan, people are running around with fucking missile launchers and giant fucking steampunk robots, all right? That I'm expecting you to go ahead and walk out the end of all of that. Oh, by the way, can you keep it under 100 minutes? Okay, that by the end of everything, that it's going to be coherent.
I got you.
Yeah, I mean, chances are it's not going to happen.
But see, and the story will have to be on point But the problem is, with all they've shown and all the characters that they've shown, it's like, okay, is everyone going to have dialogue? Is everyone going to have a part in this? Is everyone going to be? Are the pieces going to fit? As far as saying that,
Well,
is
I mean,
everyone really necessary that's going to be there?
I just counted. There's 15 characters, including the Bat himself. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, most of them are villains, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Because most of the time when there's been a Batman movie or anime or anything like that, I mean, fuck, even in the Flashpoint Paradox, the Aqua Lads didn't have a single word of dialogue. They were just there.
You know what I think is going to happen? I'm going to predict this now. I think that Batman's enemies are actually an illusion of what he faces back in his time period. And that's how they're showing up in the feudal Japan. And these are just some of his villains that he, quote unquote, imagined to be there, so to speak. You know what I mean? And if it goes that route, man, I don't think there's a cohesive storyline at all. It's just like Batman just suddenly thinks of Harley Quinn and pop Harley Quinn, there she is. And he got to fight that figment of the imagination.
If this is anything otherwise than what you just said, then basically this is like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City condensed in 80-something minutes in feudal Japan.
Or could it be something that
at
the beginning that he ran into Scarecrow, and the whole thing was a freaking Scarecrow's gas. He never left. He was just somewhere. I'm just saying.
The problem with that is this, okay, is that if you sit there and you put something that's worth a damn in the hopes of getting somebody invested in it, and then you sit there and you say, oh, but that never happened, it was all make-believe.
That's a cop-out.
You know how pissed your audience is going to be?
That is a big middle finger.
But they're known for doing that cop-out shit, though. I'm just saying.
Remember on Family Guy when Stewie killed Lois and Lois killed Stewie? Do not do that here. That will do nothing but piss people off.
Yeah. Like I said,
guys.
Well, like I said, this is set to come out sometime in 2018. It doesn't have an official set in stone release date yet. It is going to be airing out in Japan. Most likely, it's going to see some sort of distribution here. I'd be surprised that it doesn't get any sort of distribution here.
Well, damn, if it goes to the theater, will the subtitles be lined up right?
I don't think it's going to go to theaters. I think it's going to.
I was just fucking around. You know where I was going with that.
I know where you were going.
It's with everything that's there. Like I said, if somebody wants to go see it, if it does go to theater and somebody says, "Hey, you want to go see it?" I'm not going to say no. Okay.
Pretty much.
If it's titled correctly, yes, I will go see it.
Yeah,
I mean, just for the animation and the effects part, that's enough for me to go anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in watching it just like I would.
I just had a horrible thought. Is this gonna be Japanese comedy like? Because the Joker has to be a Joker, and if it's gonna be like Japanese comedy, it may be a throw off.
They do have a different type of humor than
what I mean.
Yeah,
believe me.
Yeah. So, like I said, this one's gonna be. I expect this one to be a train wreck, but just like the worst train wrecks that have existed in history, I will not be able to turn away, and I will watch it from beginning to end. So,
okay, yeah,
and then complain and bitch about it later.
No, not complaining and bitch about it. We're professionals. We'll create YouTube videos about it, okay? And we'll put it up, all right? And we'll give our honest critique, okay? That's what we'll do. All right. But, enough of our bantering on and our rambling on, folks. If you've seen the Batman Ninja trailer, what are your thoughts on it? What are you expecting from it? You can tell us that we're jumping the gun and bearing the lead on this particular thing without even seeing it. I know I am. All right.
You are.
Yeah, I know I am. Okay. What are your thoughts on it? What do you expect? Is it going to be a clusterfuck like I think it's going to be, or is it going to be something that's going to be surprisingly coherent and entertaining? Because if that happens, I'll be glad with that too. You can let us know by leaving a comment below. While you're at it, if you really like this particular video and you think it's worth it, mash on that like button. We'll really appreciate it. And if you really like what we do here and you want to stick around, I do suggest you hit subscribe, you turn on those notifications, and you will know whenever we put out a brand new video on any of our channels here. Yeah, that's pretty much all of that. All of our bullshit on Batman Ninja, although, yes, it should be called Batman Samurai or Batman Altered Feudal Japan Steampunk Joker Mecha Make-Believe Project. Yeah.
All the subtitles underneath.
Yeah. That all ends here. All right. I'm the Reverend.
The thing here.
And I'm Greymouth One.
All forms of entertainment has the right to exist even if you don't like it. Wait, if this is successful, are you going to do Superman in Feudal Japan? How about Green Lantern? Wonder Woman?
Bring it on.
What?
Bring it on. I'll see it. Do it.
Credits.
Would it be any worse than the DCEU as it is right now?
Pretty much.
But don't ruin the animation part.